welcome back to the channel, guys. This is Slights. Today we're going to have some fun. Today we're going to pick on the Rebel 500. Anybody that has ever watched any of my videos, they understand that I do love this motorcycle. Anybody that I've ever talked to in regards to the 500, everybody seems to like this bike. But we're gonna just kind of pick on it a little bit, or we're gonna end up stating a few of the things that I dislike about this motorcycle. Let's start it off with the biggest thing that I think, and I've already fixed it, but the mirrors. I absolutely hate the mirrors, right? The stock mirrors, they cover your shoulder. They do not give you a good vision from behind you, and you can flip them, but then when you flip them, now you're looking down, right? And you're not looking out the road, right? What I did was I ended up replacing them with these, they're like almost Harley style mirrors, and that fixed that. They do come out a little bit further. Number two, the stock seat. The stock seat is probably one of the worst seats I've ever sat on a motorcycle. I absolutely hate that seat, and the scary part is, in 2000, they fixed it apparently. I don't think they did. That's, again, my opinion, and you know, you might disagree with me, and that's okay, but again, I fixed that. The thing that I like about all the problems that I have with the Rebel 500 typically is they're all things that you can fix, right? So it's not a big problem, right? Well, most of them you can. Let's pick on another thing. So the majority of the aftermarket support for this this Rebel, right, is typically really poor quality fitting items. You have to really do a lot of homework when you're looking at things. If you say you want to get a fairing or anything like that, typically they just flop in the wind, right? So it's just it's they're not built very good, right? Let's just say it that way. But again, as an entry-level motorcycle, you don't really expect it to be very top quality stuff, right? But you should have the option, right? I've had a hard time trying to find decent quality stuff. I dislike poor quality items on my motorcycle. I have to have them done properly, or I don't want it on my bike, right? Another thing I dislike about this is the fuel tank. The fuel tank, in my opinion, is too small. Again, I'm splitting hairs at this point, but if it had a bigger tank and not this little peanut tank, you could probably go a little bit farther, right? In my opinion, they've done a pretty good job with the amount of kilometers you can get out of this. Like, for example, with this, again, I'm on highway often, but I can normally do about 225 to 250 kilometers to a tank. To fill it up is about 11-12 bucks, right, Canadian. So again, you can't crap on it too much for that, but if they had a bigger tank, you wouldn't have to fill up all the time, right? Another thing is the power. The power on the Rebel 500, I wish there was like a 650 or something. They do have the Rebel 1100. In Canada, it's way overpriced. In the States, you can buy it. It's actually pretty cheap. You know, at that point, it's kind of silly to get the 500 over the 1100 if you have the option, because it's not much more money. In Canada, it literally almost doubles the price, right? Not completely, but at least 60-70% of that price is jumped up, right? It's disheartening, because I love the Rebel 1100. I wish that would be an option for me, but I can't stomach paying that price for a bigger engine, essentially, right? I might do some things with this one, but we'll see where the future brings on that. Another thing, the rider triangle originally it's almost sporty, but it almost stretches you out a little bit. Especially, I believe this motorcycle is geared for shorter people, or it's a little bit more approachable to shorter people, but you'll feel that you're really stretching, right? Again, you fix that easily with bars or risers. A lot of people do risers, right? That way they sit a little bit straighter up, right? With me, this, I have the Biltwell Keystone bars, not the large ones, I have the regular size ones, and it's perfectly fine, right? The tires, right from the factory, those Dunlops, atrocious. I don't know why they went with that tire. That, again, obviously you know why. The cheaper bidder, right? That's just kind of how things work, right? But that Dunlop tire is atrocious. But it's funny because the new Harley Davidson Nightster is using those same tires, the Dunlops. And, you know, newsflash to the Harley guys, it's crap. They're crap. They're so bad. The tires are dog. If you get a good set of tires, it actually changes the overall dynamics of the motorcycle. It actually turns in better. It's more, let's say, playful, right? There is a negative that a lot of people complain about. They did fix it, or they attempted to fix it in 2000. They did upgrade the suspension by a little bit. That is probably one of the biggest things that I hear a lot of people complain about. They say that the suspension is not very good. Now, I've never really had a problem with suspension. It's not that bad. But, you know, it's not the best, right? So, for the type of bike it is, completely understandable to be able to have, like, you know, a not as good a suspension, right? Now, they do have other suspensions that you can get, like Öhlins has it. The problem is it's so expensive, right? It's one of those things that you look at and go, do I pay that much money or do I upgrade the bike, right? So that's a problem when it comes to this bike, because, like, how much money do you want to spend on this bike to make it, you know, the best? Now, most people would say, you know, the suspension's good enough. I don't disagree with that. I think it's actually not too bad, but, you know, that could be classified as a negative. Another negative on this would be there is no storage on this bike. It's not easy to take that seat off. You need to actually have tools to take the seat off, where, like, a lot of bikes you can lift that seat up and it's good, but this one does not have that option. You can put a swing arm bag or a tank bag, or there's lots of other options you can do. Let's see, can I pick on anything else? I don't know if I can pick on anything else. Anyways, that was a little bit of fun. You know, it sounds really silly because I'm really splitting hairs on most of this. There's really no problems with it. That's kind of a fun way to say it. Yeah, if you're ever looking for buying a Rebel 500 or looking into it, or if somebody has one that you can take for a rip, take it for a rip. You will not be disappointed. It is actually a very fun bike. If you do like this channel, if you like this content, give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and until next time, guys.